What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is May 16th. We start off a couple minutes late. We apologize. That is my fault because my guy Rafa met me here at 7 a.m. for us to shoot our Preakness video. Our Preakness video will be out shortly. It'll be out in a couple hours. We break down every single horse, and I've got the horse that I'm taking to win the Preakness Derby for a huge score. Stakes, I should say, Preakness stakes for a huge score. I am pumped. I want to just pop up a couple things for you guys here right now. I would like to put the Beat the Bag competition right here. There's the Beat the Bag competition. Please join us. $250 for the winner. If you are already in the Kentucky Derby one, then you're up for the Triple Crown competition, which is another $250. Free to enter. If you're not in the Kentucky Derby, who cares? Join us right now. $250 to the winner to be. All you gotta do is beat the bag for 200 bet points as well. And then I'm going to, when Babano comes on, I'm gonna put the program and the contest page up again. But I'm pumped. I am very, very pumped. Shout out to all the cappers in chat. We got Rod Zawacki first in the chat. Says, I told you not to take the Cubs. You garbage, you Darvish. Hey, man. Cubs first 5 hit. Cubs team total over hit. Man, you know, the only mistake, and it's a big mistake, cost me a little over $100. I said on the show, it's like, man, that Cubs game starts at 6:40. I gotta remember to bet it. I said it twice. I said, oh, don't worry. When Jay Money comes on, I'll bet that. Of course, I forgot to bet it until when I put my bets in 7 minutes after the game started. So I did not get in on, I didn't bet it, but I got it here. Went 5-3 yesterday. You was fine. Put money in our pockets. Randy C in the house. We got Demetrius Miller. We got Romeo Love podcast in the house today on the Washington run line. We got, and the Brewers run line. Randy C saying, I need a 14 parlay today. That would be nice. We got Vinny Cornell. We got JD. We got Matt Randall. Matt Randall says, good morning. Tatum smashed easy the last 2 days. Now 28-8-1. Yes, and we have a graphic that we are working on together for the Taint Play Day. I'm looking forward to hear what that is today. Joe Rich Ramirez. We got Tara Nicole. Don Corleone S. We got Anna Merrick. Ready to roll. We will be shooting the MMA breakdown on the Late Show today. Dom the Don, it's been too long. Love seeing you. Cobra Sports 609. Stephen Dollery. Michael Ervalina. 28-6 on MLB last night. Jesus, 34 bets. I love it. And in a $100 parlay. I love it. Trey Parker in the house. Love seeing Trey Parker. Said, tried to take you to the under for the Braves. Tried to get you to take the under for the Braves yesterday. That was my fault. That was a loss. Still 5-3. Okay, I'll take it. Jeff Joseph saying, feeling under. Say, there's Antoine Seymour. Antoine Seymour in the house. Trey Parker says, Soroka now has an ERA under 1. Man, this kid is being the best pitcher in the league so far this year. Unbelievable. 21-year-old Calgary, Alberta. Michael Ervalina says shark attacking. I mean, I lost the under last night, but I'm pretty fortunate to be sitting here with live Sharks futures. I'm extremely fortunate. Sometimes the sun shines and glove passes don't get called. Blatant glove passes. Wow. Jansen says turnovers hurt Raptors last night. That'll wipe the smile right off my face. Raptors not named Kyle Lowry go 0 for 15 in the fourth quarter yesterday. Ugh. There we got Carlos Peroge and his cheesy balls. Back after celebrating birthday. Missed the low baggers. We love you. Carlos Peroge. There we go. Trey Parker. There's a parlay. Pays 3 plus 330. I will copy and paste Trey's parlay. Mets money line. Phillies money line. Orioles plus 4.5. Man, that's a funny addition. It's a funny addition. I'm going to copy and paste that right now. Copy and paste it. We got Gabriel Nazaire. Ski Profit. Ski Profit will be on the Late Show as well with Anna Merrick. And coming off a 2-0 day. That's how Ski does it. I do wish that I didn't get talked off the first half over, but it barely cashed. And you guys were looking out for my best interests. Scott Feinstein in the house. Art Hayes. Look at our eggs. Hi, guys. I had to read that first. I'm a crackhead from Jersey. I heard you got the taint in here. Can I please have some? Can I please have some taint? Man, we haven't updated the taint record, the graphic. Do we have the taint graphic ready to go? We haven't updated it, but we love it. We love it. We're working on it. We're gonna do more with the taint play of the day because it's caught fire. Everybody wants to know what the taint is. There it is. And that was 2 days ago when he was only 26, 8-1. Oh, sweet perineum. Perineum Sweezy. I have a daughter. All right, we got Gabriel Hernandez, Jansen, Bonson in the house. Gate pass key, Sharks over cash, Rob from the puck line. Not for the refs, that would have been a 6-3 game. But that's part of it. I get it, Gate pass key, good work. Ben Diaz, JC Alvarez, serious business. Michael Ervolina. Love having these guys. Big guy Bubba. Look at that. Red girl in the house, crushing it. Nut Flush Allen, Main 910, Dave LA. We got Dave LA's plays. Let's copy and paste that. Von Polo says, who is your favorite horse for the Preakness? Who? I just shot a whole video. I want you guys to watch it. But who is my pick for the Preakness? Oh, there's the taint play of the day. The taint play of the day has arrived. San Diego Padres money line. There it is. The taint play of the day. Did somebody say perineum? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Okay. All right, we're rolling here. Rolling. Fail to Life says, told Jimmy's breakdown of font being dropped by Tampa. Why didn't I? That bothered me so much, Fail to Life. Why didn't I? We broke that down so well, and yet the numbers the Mets have against Corbin and how they're hitting lefties scared me. Why didn't I fail at life? Please lead me and take me with you. It was so easy. We talked about how the Tampa Bay Rays were doing all the work for us. Piss me off. Dom the Don, love having him back in action. Von Polo says, can you post the competition link again? Yes, I'll post it right now. But I'm also going to, oh no, I got it. Sorry, yes, I'm also going to do the program. We were so tight for time dealing with the video. Yes, no, Von Polo, I will tell you. I am on at 10-1. I'm on the number 5 horse, Owendale. I'm going for a big score, and I expect to get it. I'm on the 5, Owendale, to win the Preakness at 10-1 is the morning line. I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit about my horse, whom I've fallen for in a big way. Brad Cox, Florent Giroux. Don't forget, tomorrow morning we have Matt Bernier from dailyracingform.com. I'm so excited. This is the most excited I've ever been for an interview in my entire life. As I said, movie star over there, I wouldn't care. An athlete over there, my dad beat that out of me. When I saw Bernie Kosar one time, and he was my favorite quarterback. I threw sidearm. I was like 6 or 7 years old. I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, Bernie Kosar. I want to go talk to Bernie Kosar. And my dad said, Bernie Kosar doesn't want to talk to you. He's enjoying himself. He's enjoying himself in Vancouver because he's not as recognizable as he is in the States. He does not want to talk to you. And from that point on, I never talked to anybody again until the Kevin Nealon story that I told you about. And now I will talk to nobody. Movie star, athlete, I don't care. But if Matt Bernier was right over there, I'd freak out. And when I first met Gabe Morency, I freaked out. So Gabe Morency, Matt Bernier, those are the guys I want to hang out with. Those are the guys I want to drink with. Those are the guys that I want in my life. There's Maxwell Smart. Man, there's another guy. Love Maxwell Smart. Von Polo says, Owendale, another twist of fate. Why wouldn't you take a shot with Owendale? That's my favorite horse as well. Von Polo. Yes, you did tell me you like Owendale and Warriors Charge. I just had to break down the entire card. Grace Evers says, shout out Jay Money for that Bucks under 2. Absolutely. I just had to break down the entire card. That's all. I needed more time, and I forgot that's where you were on. Von Polo said, I'm glad we think alike, Jimmy. I've been saying Owendale all week. Owendale, I've been screaming that name all week in the chat. My fault. I knew that you had liked Owendale. I didn't realize that was your horse. Anna Merrick says, the day I see you in real life, you're going to have to give me a second. I'll probably have a red light for a few minutes before we can talk. Come on, Anna Merrick. We're boys, man. We're old friends. And then DJ Big Boss says, love hanging with Gabe. We was up all night partying in Vegas. Yeah, he's the truth. Cuban Connect said, Jimmy, I went with you on the Mets team total over last night. They are trash. I was not on the Mets team total over. The only play I was on last night, team total-wise, was the Cubs. We talked all about the Mets team total overs. I will let you know all of the plays I was on yesterday right now. I was on the Blues under 5.5 minus 108. That was a loser. Then I was on the Angels Twins under 9.5 minus 115. A loser. Then I was on the Diamondbacks minus 1. A winner. Then I was on the Cubs first 5 plus 122. Cubs team total over 3.5. It was the Mets team total over was a play that was offered up to us in the chat. And I didn't make a move on Mets Nationals. But look at that. Vitalis says, sold some stocks for profit. Need your help to spend. Need the taint. Request to withdraw 1817 from Robinhood to your Golden One Credit Union again. Nice, Vitalis. Respect. Astute K. Okay, we got to get to work. But I'll finish off. Brewers plus 113. That was from you guys. Thank you so much. That was glorious. And then Rockies first 5 plus 126. I was told by Russell Gordy to not make that bet, and that bet lost. And then Rays Marlins first 5 under 4. That was another play Russell Gordy told me not to make. That play cashed easily. First 5 under 4 minus 108. Cardinals at Braves. There was the mistake I made at minus 119. All right, let's get to work. But man, Von Polo and I are on Owendale at 10-1. Okay, so let's talk about Owendale quickly. But I still want you guys to watch the video when it comes out, please, because I want to do them, and I can only do them if they get views. Florent Giroux, he's coming off a giant run in the Grade 3 Lexington, 98 buyer. At the half of the race, he was 7th by 9 lengths, or 9th by 7.25 lengths. Then he makes this giant run, runs 4, 5 wide, blows past the whole field, wins the race easily, beats another twist of fate that's 6-1. It's not that race, the 98 buyer, all that's great, but that was a slow pace he was running into. A 24, what was it? It was a 24 and 2/4 and a 48 and 1/2. We saw what Bourbon War ran into when he ran into a slow pace in the Florida Derby. He lost by 7 lengths. A slow pace couldn't even stop Owendale. There's going to be a faster pace coming up, and he's going to run. He wasn't a huge favorite because the race before was 2 months before in the what was the race? The Risen Star. He lost by 10 lengths. Something was wrong. They gave him, I don't know if he was sick or had an injury. They gave him 2 months off. He's come back with a vengeance. When he is training, he either runs the bullet or he goes slow because the trainer is telling him to go slow. Or he runs the bullet when the trainer says, hey, tap him. See how fast he goes. And he flies. All right. Thank you, Von Polo. Much love. Much love. I am on Owendale with my guy, Von Polo. We are going to get our money back that we lost in the Derby. I'm on Owendale. My prediction is Owendale does not just win the Preakness, but Owendale is this year's Arrowgate and becomes a monster that we see in the Classic. There's the fight analyst, DJ Big Boss. Okay, my fault, you guys. Let's start rolling. Jeff Johnson, Jimmy, I know what you mean about me, a celebrity. I met William Shatner in Vegas. I went off the rails. Is he a good Canadian? A good Canadian. All right. Okay. Oh, it's all good, Cuban Connect. It's all good. As a group, we were cashing. Oh, I Like Turtles. It's been a long time since we've seen I Like Turtles. Nice to see you. Okay, there's Mickey Cohen. There's Jose Villegas. Owendale could have got a higher buyer, 100 plus, if he would have been asked for more. Tank him full, Jimmy. He will fire as well as win-win-win. Win-win-win's very dangerous. Win-win-win is a very dangerous horse. There's no doubt about that. College Pro says, Jimmy, you okay with 13 horse field? I'm happy it's 13 horse field. I don't want more than 14. I want more than that. I agree, Jose Villegas. Owendale is live. But the question is, did the owners of Warriors Charge, who also own Owendale, put up the $150,000 supplemental fee for Warriors Charge to be a rabbit for Owendale? Or do they really believe in Warriors Charge? That's a question that I'm incapable of answering. Okay, there's Jim Rummy. Hey, Lowback Chat is a place where we can all boost our collective ego, bragging about our winners and never talk about our losers. Yay, come on, Jim Rummy. We die. Come on, I'm always talking about. Come on, okay. But Jim Rummy is a major asset to us. Okay, let's get rolling right now. Sorry about the long intro, but I'm pumped about the Preakness. I'm pumped about Matt Bernier. I'm pumped about coming off a winning day, and slight winning day. And I'm just pumped to be here with you guys. So let's get to work right now. And I do think win-win-win is very dangerous. Vitalis says, I'm thinking of taking Covey in the first 5 at plus 125 versus Stroman. Talked me off of it. Think this kid is on one at home today. Vitalis, I can't talk you off it because I agree. I like Covey, and everybody else thinks Covey's so terrible. And I think Covey can step up in certain situations, and this may be one of them. DJ Big Boss says, my long shot in the Preakness is Laughing Fox. Laughing Fox is going to come running, Big Boss. I don't know if he has the speed figures to win, but he's going to be come running late, and I will have him in the exacta box with Owendale. Okay, so let's get to work right now. Sorry about the... we don't have a ton of games, so it's okay to talk a little bit about this. All right, I'm excited. Darvish, hey, Jimmy, any chance for IFBC again this year? It was about now. We started getting it together. It doesn't look good, Dom Ricci. It doesn't look promising at this point for IFBC. But I can tell you what does look promising. A low bag Summit of Champions in Miami in late August. A meetup. We're going to all get together. That does look promising. Von Post said, I like Fox underneath. I wouldn't put him on top. I agree. Okay, let's get to work. And I apologize. I hate the sad news there. Okay. We've been talking a lot about the Preakness. So we should mention that we have a big Bovada promo for the Preakness. All you have to do is hit the link at the bottom. It's only available from the 13th to the 18th. And what are we? It's the 16th. So only available for 2 more days. You get a 50% bonus. Now, only for new accounts. So only for new accounts only. But you get the 50% bonus, and then you get a $20 addition, $20 bid. There's Comic Ricky in the house. Okay, let's get to work. Name 2 horses that you're going to toss out. You know, unfortunately, there's only one horse that I'm going to toss out. There's only one horse, I think, on the whole entire thing that I'm tossing out. I'm tossing out, what's his name, Everfast. He is the only horse I'm tossing out. Even Signalman, I think, can be in there. I'm tossing him out. Okay. Cuban Connect says, Jimmy, there's a fight coming up on the 18th. Manny Rodriguez from Puerto Rico. The real deal. Look him up, all money. Thank you, Cuban Connect. Copy and paste that. Oh, and there's Antoine Seymour. Oh, man, we're going to get the team together. We're going to be there for a whole week. We got some big plans. Going to go to Pro Player for the Thursday night. It's week 3, so it'll be like a real run. We're going to go to the horse track there, Gulfstream and Hallandale Beach. Hopefully Mark Lawrence will be there. Hopefully we fly in Kelly in Vegas. Hopefully we do a lot of good. Okay, look at Ron Crawford off a career day. 5-0 MLB, 2-0 NBA, 1-0 NHL. Okay, guys, and there's Vitalis Miami meetup. Yes, Vitalis, we need you there. Okay. Daryl Lyle says Super Bowl 2020 Miami. We shall link up in Miami. You know, Super Bowl might be a little out of my price range, but a week in late August where nothing's going on is perfect for me. But we'll talk more about that. Okay, let's get to work. Let's start with NBA, Blazers, Warriors. We're going to have Ski Profit on the late show. I don't want to spend too much time on this game. Blazers, Warriors. Can you pop up that NBA record? Unchanged. Although I should have added a unit on that first half over. Thought they'd be pacing it. I guess from a handicapping breakdown, I guess I didn't realize it would be the Raptors dictating the speed rather than the Bucks. But it would have hit. Whatever. Okay, let's keep rolling. Blazers, Warriors. Warriors had no bench, we said. Right? We said they had no bench. In the regular season, they were 28th out of the 30 teams in points off the bench. They were destroyed off the bench in the Clippers series, 55.7 to 29.7. Then in Game 6, Looney comes off the bench for 14, Livingston for 11. They dominate the Warriors, 33-17 off the bench. Then in Game 1, all 8 Warrior backups had a positive plus-minus. They outscore the Portland bench, 36-28. This is where we thought Portland had the advantage. Kerr said he thought Game 1 was won in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and that was a unit of Thompson, Cook, Livingston, Jerebko, and Jordan Bell. What? If these guys are rolling for the Warriors, what stops them? Now, we heard from Jay Money. He's going to be on Portland. He also likes the over. Trailblazers shot very poorly, 36.1%. Turned the ball over nonstop. Lillard looked tired. Lillard had 7 of the team's 21 turnovers. Him and McCollum combined for 36 points. They need more than that. Let's take a quick look at what we are getting here. Still 7.5 on the board. It opened at 8. 7.5 for the Warriors. And the total is at 219 and 218. I thought it had gone up higher than that. Let me just see if it's coming down. No, it's still going up. So it opened at 217 or 217 and a half. Let's talk about Pinnacle. In Pinnacle, it opened at 217 and a half. It took 3 minutes for them to put it up to 218 and a half. So obviously somebody was waiting and pounced. Then it was 218 and a half for a long time until 6:45 this morning. Then it went back down to 218, back down to 218 for an hour and a half, and then back up to 219. So I'm going to, Art Hayes says the Portland backcourt is due. Jansen says the Splash Brothers are back. Poker Addicted says I predict Ski likes Warriors first quarter and first half. And then I will like it too, says Poker Addicted. I like it. I like it. There's my guy, Alex Ramirez. I do not believe that KD will be in the lineup. And they're rolling. There's Campsite Killer in the house. Wow. Very, very exciting. Torian says Portland will likely play the pick and roll differently, but Golden State will be ready for that since Houston blitzed pick and rolls too. Wow, Day Junior Smile going to the Warriors game tonight. See, another thing, like going to Game 2 Western Conference Finals, a little out of my price range. But when the Memphis Grizzlies come to town, first row, second deck. Okay, let's keep rolling. So, I'm not going to make a move on it yet. I'd like to talk to the NBA Whisperer, the quiet assassin, Ski Prophet. He'll be joining us on the Late Show. There's Gas Station Sushi. We got to play Corey Gal, 6-1, 3-unit play at Gulfstream Park. Ooh. Okay, let's keep rolling. Move on to NHL. Bruins at Hurricanes. Could you pop up the NHL record? It went down yesterday. It went a unit down, sadly. Sadly, it got a little worse for where. There it is. God, I hate seeing that's February 7th to present at just 2.25 units. All right, let's talk about it. Boston, Carolina. Boston is absolutely rolling. They're just dominating on special teams. Huge line move towards Boston. I guess not. Yeah, huge. 19-cent line move towards the Bruins. Let's look at the total here. The total opened at 5.5 minus 121. There's been no movement. I think there will be goals. In this series. Daryl Lyle says I'm on Canes. Jeff Joseph says love the hockey under, Jimmy. Maybe I'll... the weather forecast, Elio, was good yesterday. Let me just double check quickly. Baltimore weather. All right, it is. Fine, it's beautiful. Wow, it's going to be hot. 86 Fahrenheit in Baltimore. Beautiful. God, I miss that city. Oh, there is my guy Maxwell Smart says going to an event where women are going to pee on men. I won't be participating though. Interesting. That's an interesting event, Maxwell Smart, where women are going to pee on men. I've never been to one of those events. Nor would I think. But the more I think about it, yeah, maybe I'm a little tiny bit interested. Tiny slow. Okay. Vital says Sharks game last night was crazy. It was unbelievable. And here, I love McElhaney, the way he's playing. I just feel like there's going to be goals. I feel like Carolina's going to open it up. Try to get some goals. Try to get back in this thing. I think there's going to be goals. I feel like there's going to be goals. Jeff Joseph says Canes have no choice but to play tight defensive hockey. But they're at home, and they could roll. Bruins have won 6 straight games. 6-game winning streak is the franchise longest in the postseason since 1978. Just gave Hurricanes a home loss for the first time in the playoffs. Rask has stopped 85 of 90 shots. It's on the power play where they're dominating. 31.9%. 15 of 47 compared to Carolina, who's 5 for 50. Wow. Von Polo said, I live in Baltimore. It is a beautiful day today, and we're getting no rain for the whole weekend. Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous. Poker Addict says, Kane's spirit has to be broken. They can't come out with the effort tonight. They could come out better the last game, and it got them nothing. Bruins for the sweep. Oh, you're going to Salt tonight for dinner? Oh, Von Polo. Oh, shit. Man, that's a great place. Oh, my God. That's one of my favorite places in the world. That's dope. Dustin H. said, okay, so some interesting stuff coming in. Here in the chat. Who was it? Some curiosity here, wondering if that they were at Max's party. Oh, Daryl Lyle says, did the men get stung by jellyfish? Because that's a situation where I guess men like to be peed on by women. And Dustin H. says, the pee jellyfish thing is a myth. The more you know. And I bet you when he found out about that, it was a disappointing afternoon for Dustin H. So let's just take his word for it. Gabe Paskey says, Bruins still a good price. Bruins win concisely. Williams has not been a good captain, getting played emotionally. Rask is a wild night. How can Canes get more scoring chances than last game? The Canes outshot Boston 36-31. I think there's going to be goals. And if I can get a nice, juicy plus line, it's not quite juicy enough yet. Plus 110 at 5 dimes. Plus 110 at Heritage. I think there's going to be goals. I really do. I think that the Hurricanes are going to try to get goals. There's Brandon Lugo in the house. So at this point, I'm not going to make a move, but I'm leaning towards the over. All right. No longer on any jellyfish. Okay. Let's get to work. Oh, look at our guy Noli betting Serbian soccer right now. Why not? Oh, T said Jimmy just posted a Twitter pic of Seth and Steph's mom, Sonia, for you just to help block out Del. Okay, thank you. Oh, just have to block out Del Curry. Okay, I get it. Thank you for doing that, Tease. Torino says Boston is a veteran team. I think they come strong here. They were sharp in game 3, up 2-0. I think they're sharp here again. And Von Birdie says San Jose over cash. Yeah, I was off that. Screwed that. That hurt me. No, I'm not doing that, Jose Villegas, although that would pay juicy. $66 on a 50-cent try. Wow, that's an interesting look. I shot the whole video, but after this, I've got to shoot the end of it where I make my bet. So I've got that's an interesting look. I'm not sure, but that seems worth $66. Interesting look. Okay. All right, let's stay focused. Well, we don't have to. Look at Max. Max says, I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. Greatest chat on YouTube show ever. Hey, if you guys want to talk about Max's party tonight where the women are going to pee on men, then let's talk about it. Not a lot of games on the schedule. What do you think, Rafa? Have you ever been peed on by a woman? No. Are you interested a bit? He thought about it for 4 seconds or 3 seconds before he said that. Okay, let's keep rolling. Let's get into baseball. Let's get to work. Mets Nationals. When's this game pop off? Let's get the lineups up. Mets Nationals. This game pops off at 1:05 Eastern, so in an hour and 35 minutes. Wheeler versus Sanchez. This is confirmed lineups. McNeil, Smith, Cano, Conforto, Davis, Nemo, Rosario, Nito, Wheeler. For the Nats, Eaton, Robles, Rendon, Soto, Kendrick, Parra, Suzuki, Daifo. 73 Fahrenheit, wind coming in pretty strong. Wheeler 3-2, 4.35 ERA, 1.35 whip, 49 2/3, 58 Ks, 19 walks, 3 home runs allowed. Sanchez 0-6, 5.27 ERA, 1.68 whip. Why didn't he do this last year when I was fading him nonstop? Brooke Jordan in the house. Wonderful to see you. Christopherson Lim liking the Mets money line. Jansen says, I'm on Nationals. Aloha Eastside Roller says, liking the under as well. I was very interested in the under. And I know that these guys can hit. Let's see how hard they hit. Let's just quickly see how hard they hit Wheeler. Because everyone was talking about how these Nats can get to Wheeler. Let's get a good look at how hard that is. Sorry, got that going. There we go. Here we go. Let's get a good look at this right now. Let's see how hard they hit him. Here we go. For the Nats. Wow, they hit him hard. They hit him hard. Oh, no, they don't. What am I talking about? Ramos is two at-bats. He's got 1 hit. They don't hit him hard. Todd Frazier is 1 RBI in 19 at-bats against them. Oh, sorry, those are the Mets bats against Sanchez. Jeez, what am I doing? Sorry, my head's not right. Okay, I'm there. Yeah, I'm back. They do hit him hard. What am I talking about? Adam Eaton smashes him. Anthony Rendon hits him hard. Victor Robles hits him hard. Suzuki, Mike, they all hit him hard. They all hit Wheeler hard. Is Wheeler a different pitcher now? Sorry. Dave L.A. says I'm on Nationals money line. Oh, Lucky Lefty says, I guess I'll let Tata pee on you. Nice. Feel free to film it. Okay, let's stay focused. Mets are hitting 246, 722 OPS versus righties. Nats are hitting 229, 676 OPS versus righties. We got guys on Nationals money line. They just hit it. They hit them hard. JD already on Nats over 3.5 team total. They're in a slump, but do hit Wheeler. Jansen says Nats is 329 against Wheeler. Russell Gordy says quiet under game. I thought so too, but I guess if it's the Nats, offense that we're worried about, then we might. There is money coming in towards the under. Not much, what, 1 cent move. I'm interested in the under. T says Sanchez 0-6, 5.27 ERA, suspect. Party Hardy says Nats lineup, crush Wheeler, take the plus juice. IPL betting says, come on, tell bets for NHL and NBA. IPL betting, it's 9:33. You just got here. What do you think we started with? Okay. Nolly No says New York Mets, Washington under 9. Carlos Burrows says today's weather day here at Nats Park. Take Nats plus 114. Let's see, do they have the same wind that I have here? No, they have left to right here. Mine said in, this left to right. Wow, look at Vitalis. Phillies during the day, 1-8 towards the under. Wow. Or, 8 unders, 1 over. Wow. Russell Gordy saying Pirates dog of the day. Frugas, I'm saying Mets team total over. I don't know. This guy, Aníbal Sánchez, just takes money out of my pocket. I fade him all the time. Yeah, and Kevin Pine says left to right. Campsite Killer agreeing with the Phillies under. I'm going to stay off. I'm going to stay off Mets, Nats. Let's move on to Brewers, Phillies. Total open at 8.5. It has now got to 9. Let's look at the money line quickly. Here we go. Money line and totals quick. Here we go. Phillies opened up at minus 133, an 18-cent move towards Zach Davies and the Brew Crew. You guys got me on the Brewers last night, and I thank you very much. Dustin H. Campsite Killer agree with the Phillies under. Moses Alvidrez says Phillies money line. Jansen says Pirates not dog of the day. They can't hit lefties. Moses Alvidrez says Eflin 2-0 with 2.45 ERA versus Brewers. Davies 1-1, 7.15 ERA and 2 starts versus Phillies. There's Jeff Joseph on unders. Milwaukee, Philly, Oakland, Detroit, and Cincy Cubs. I will copy and paste that. Ron Crawford, the spreadsheet is 25-7, and it says Mets. Yeah, I would back that. Let's see what Tomor has to say quickly. Sorry, here we go. Tomor says, Sanchez has reverse splits. He's the kind of right-handed pitcher Mets should hit, but Nats have hit Wheeler. Noli No says, I can only lead you to water, Jimmy. Yeah. And booze. Nice, you got Moss got paid. Love seeing that. Marshall Hoffman says, put your house on the Bruins tonight. Ralph Porwando on Mets money line. Smart money on Phillies first 5 and full game. Well, let's talk more about why this move has gone over towards the Brew Crew. I guess just because they've been winning. Gamble, Yelich, Braun, Moustakis, Grandal, Hira, Thames, Arcia is the Brew Crew lineup. For the Phillies, McCutchen, Harper, Segura, Hoskins, Hernandez, Herrera, Knapp, Franco, and Eflin. Dave L.A. says Brewers is a lean. Phillies don't have Real Muto. Jin Rami says my model is on Padres under 8. Copy that. Minky says KC, Texas first inning over 1.5. Ooh, for plus 181. That's an interesting bet. Tomer says Davies has been much better on the road. ERA is almost a full point lower on the road last few years. Brooke Jordan on Brewers first 5. Von British on Phillies and under. Jansen says Braun owns Eflin. All right. Minky said Brewers are great. Brooke Jordan on Brewers, Phillies, first 5 under. What is that under? So that total's gone from 8.5 to 9. So the first half under. Philly, Chicago is at 5. It's 5 dimes and Bavada brought it down to 4.5. Eddie Obasoan says stay away game. David Ellis says no Real Muto. And there's the taint play today. San Diego Padres money line is the taint play of the day. Okay. Interesting. Brewers are hitting 242, 746 OPS versus righties. Phillies have almost the exact same average. Davies has been excellent this year. Excellent. I know that he throws slow and nonstop changeups, but 4.0, 1.54 ERA, 1.22 whip. A lot of walks, so. Eflin's been very good this year. 5.3, 2.47 ERA. I agree completely, Jose Villegas. I haven't actually studied the 3/4 of a mile quite yet. But I think you're right. 23 and change quarter, 46 and change half. I think you bang. I think you're, because I did my whole video without the time for US pace projections. Who cares? We can do this. You got Mosses. Are the Hurricanes rolling over? There's my man Jose. Also on the Brewers, Phillies first 5 under. And Chip Plylar liking the Bruins sweep. Brooke Jordan taking it at 4.5. I find this difficult. I find these 2 morning games difficult. We're going to be joined here shortly by our guy Babano. We'll see what he is on and what he is liking. Those are the 2 morning games, and I have not yet made a move on them. Yet made a move on them. Daniel Chowder in the house. And Dave L.A. Tigers moneyline play of the day. What's Ben Diaz? Davies left a lot of runners stranded. Those runs are going to start coming in today, says Ben Diaz. Interesting. Going to copy and paste Dave L.A.'s play of the day. All right, let's start. So we have not a ton of games on the card, late games, and we'll have all afternoon show to break them down in totality. So we have Rangers. We have A's Tigers, Bassett Turnbull. We've just heard from Dave L.A. that the Tigers are his play of the day. Farouk Islam says Detroit moneyline is very attractive. And the Detroit moneyline we would get at, huge move towards the Oakland A's. Detroit opened at plus 108. They're now at plus 133, a 25-cent move towards the Oakland A's. Wow. Our Ace said, Jimmy, we should have Capper of the Year awards. We should. You're right, Art Hayes, we should. And we should give them out every time we do a low bag Summit of Champions. Mally Mouse said Oakland 10-0 against Detroit. Chip Plyler said, Jimmy, I'm not pounding Boston anymore unless you are. I have not made a decision on how to handle Game 4 right now. I'm just too in awe that my Sharks futures are still alive. When I saw that goal scored, I was like, you're just going to let that be a goal? Guy blatantly ambassador. You're just going to, we can't review that. Jeff Joseph said Turnbull a real stud this year. Yeah, Turnbull's dangerous, but Bassett's had a great year. 2.55 ERA, 0.97 whip. I know he pitches much better at home. Oh, look at Matt Reynolds. I coached Bassett in the summer. He's coming home to family and friends. I think he will be focused today. Oh, that's an interesting one. Yu Chang Yu says, love Oakland. Huge lean. And Dave L.A. says, perfect. Fade public. Avi Gold says, I don't trust the Tigers. Frucus says, last year, 12:30 game, Detroit won 70%. This is a night game. There's only 2 day games, I thought. What am I talking about? This is a day game. Okay, sorry. My head's... Okay, sorry. I'm looking at this wrong. Looking at it because my fault. Okay, let's hammer this game harder. We're going to get... Can you get Babano on the line? But let's... Rafa, if you don't mind. Let's hammer this game harder. My fault. It's a 12:30 game. Of course it is. Or 1:10 p.m. Okay, Oakland's got Simeon, Chapman, Olsen, Davis, Piscotti, Profar, Laureano, Grossman, Fegley. For Detroit, Goodrum, Stewart, Castellanos, Cabrera, Rodriguez, Harris, Lugo, Griner, Jacoby Jones. I don't know why Brandon Dixon isn't getting more run. He's playing so well. And there is Molecular Ninja liking the under 8.5. And Russell Gordy says Tigers lose the game. 4 day game. So we also have Lance Lynn and Homer Bailey. I love the way Lance Lynn looked in his last start against Verlander. I wish I hadn't have taken the Rangers on the money line at plus 250, but he still pitched great. Rangers hitting 255, 799 OPS versus righties. Royals are hitting 252, 772 OPS versus righties. Bailey's pitching much better than we expected him to. And I've not faded him all year. The whole fade homer from last year, I've not faded him once all year. He's 4-3 this year. 4.83 ERA, 1.32 whip. I mean, the ERA is high. The whip is low. Still a lot of walks, 16 and 41 innings. Let's just take a quick look at that lineup here. Rangers, Royals. For the Rangers, Santana, Calhoun, Mazzaro, Pence, Gallo, Forsythe, Odor, Guzman, Kiner, Falefa. That is an ugly Rangers lineup. That's a weak lineup. For the Royals, Merrifield, Lopez, Mondesi, Gordon, Dozier, Soler, Gutierrez, O'Hearn, Gallagher. Those are 2 weak lineups. Do we have the balls to take an under in the Homer Bailey game is the question. Because you guys cashed on Texas, Kansas City under last night. It's 10.5. It's gone from 9.5 to 10.5. Wow. EJ Gilly saying loving Rangers. And Vitalis says, haven't heard from Babano forever. Let me hear that voice. And we shall provide, Vitalis. We shall provide our guy Babano representing Hamilton, Ontario. Coming to us live Thursday morning from Hamilton, Ontario. How are you doing this morning, Babano? Thank you so much for joining us.
I don't have many gifts to offer the world, but a lot of people tell me my voice is one of those things. So Vitalis, I appreciate that. Jimmy, how are you today?
I'm good. I shot my Preakness video this morning. I am very, very excited about the races on Saturday. And Love having you on the show, my man. We got 4 morning games in baseball. We got a big playoff basketball game, game 2 in Oakland. And then we have game 4 in Carolina. Where do you want to go, Babano? Lead us.
You know what? We'll do the best, save the best for last. We'll do it Vanessa Williams style this morning. And we'll start with baseball first, and we'll do the playoffs at the end. So baseball card. Hit me with any game, Jimmy. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'd like to talk about these morning spots as they're right in front of us. Let's start Mets Nationals. It's a tricky spot. I have one site saying 11 miles per hour in, another site saying 10 miles an hour left or right. So 73 Fahrenheit clear. It's a nice day in Washington. Then we have Zack Wheeler, who's getting better and better every start, yet he gets tagged by this Nationals lineup. They hit him hard. Then we have Aníbal Sánchez, Mr. Light Contact. Nobody could barrel up on him last year. Now he's 0-6, 5.27 ERA, 1.68 whip. I faded him. I did not trust him last year, and it cost me so much money. And this year, I'm not making enough money off of fading him. I'm still scared because of the vividness bias of losing last year. Mets are hitting 246, 722 OPS versus righties. Nats are hitting terribly against righties. Mets Nationals, totals at 9. What do you think here?
Yeah, I would only take the Mets. I would only take the Mets in this game. I'm not looking to back Washington, not anytime soon. This is a team that to me has been overvalued for a long time, for most of the season, to be honest with you. And the proof is in the fact they're 13.7 units to the loss so far this season. So they have not been a team that you can trust. They did win last night, 5-1. I'll give them credit. Patrick Corbin was tremendous, 8 strong innings for them. But you're right about Aníbal Sánchez. Not a guy I trust. This is a guy that's been bounced around now from a bunch of different teams. 2-6, the Nationals in his 8 starts. 5.06 ERA here in Nationals Park in his home ballpark, which isn't great. Zack Wheeler has been a conundrum over the years. This is a guy that really came into the Mets organization with a high upside, high ceiling, a lot of expectation, and really for the most part, he hasn't met those expectations for New York. 3.60 ERA last 3 starts has been a little bit better. But again, he's faced Miami in his last start, which isn't a very good lineup. Did shut down Milwaukee, though. Milwaukee's got a decent lineup. 2 runs allowed, 7 innings, 2 walks, 21 strikeouts, though, for Zack Wheeler in his last 2 starts. So, you know, I've seen this before, Jimmy, from Zack Wheeler. Just when I'm starting to buy into this guy, he gets lit up. Maybe that happens today. That would be the only fear I have. But I think in this price range, you know, minus 120, minus 125, I think the Mets are the side I'd be looking at here.
I agree. Dave LA is on the Nats, and that just gives me pause. I mean, looking at these lineups, they're both kind of soft. My initial feel was to take the under here, that Sanchez is capable of getting soft contact. Tom Marino says Sanchez career ERA in day games isn't impressive over 5. I feel a little lost. Elio Topset says, I agree, Mets are pass. I'm surprised Dave LA likes the Nats, and he wasn't the only one liking the Nats here. Dog at home, I guess. I'm going to stay off it at this point. Let's move on to Brewers, Phillies. I like Zach Davies. A lot of people dislike him. It's just because when you watch him pitch, his stuff looks so hittable, but that changeup is hard to touch. Both these teams hit righties the exact same. Eflin is coming off a very strong start to the season. The total opened at 8.5, but heavily juiced to the over. It's now at 9 at a pick'em, basically. It's a little juiced to the over now, actually, at BetOnline. And then Phillies opened up at minus 133. There's been a 16-cent move towards the Brewers. Red Girl and the chat got me on the Brewers yesterday at a plus line, and it cashed. I don't have a move on this yet. What do you think? Brewers, Phillies.
First thought would be probably under the total, actually. The total sitting at 9 in this game. I don't mind the current form of either of these two guys. I mean, Zach Davies and Zach Eflin here, battle of the Zacharys, I guess you could say, in this matchup. You know, the Phillies aren't hitting right now. You know, Gabe Kapler is shifting this lineup around day in, day out. I think Maikel Franco sat out last night's game. I don't think Herrera was in the style. Like, he's just trying to tweak this lineup, trying to find some guys other than Rhys Hoskins who are going to consistently hit for him in this Phillies team. And he's had the trouble getting anybody really to step up and produce consistently at the plate for Philadelphia. You look at them, you know, just 3 runs in the last 2 games combined, you know, against Woodruff and Gio Gonzalez. Okay, they're decent pitchers, but, you know, to be shut down with 3 runs against those 2 starters, that's a concern. And again, these two guys on the mound today, you know, Zach Davies, he's altered his arsenal a little bit, throwing a lot more, mixing his pitches a lot more, and it's been to the benefit of him. 1.54 1.4 ERA this season, 1.4 ERA in his last 3 starts. Eflin's been terrific at home, 1.17 ERA at home, 0.72 ERA in his last 3 starts overall. So you've got 2 pitchers that are in very, very good current form. I definitely trust the Milwaukee lineup more than Philly. So I guess from a side perspective, I'd lean the Brewers because they're the team in better form, but I'm going to stay off the side. I think the under's worth a look, but I'm going to split it up. I'm going to go first 5 and full game under, half on each. I do worry about that Philly pen. That Philly bullpen's always a concern for me in terms of giving up runs in the late innings. So I'm going to go first 5 innings, half a unit, full game under, half a unit in this one.
Yeah, interesting look going against the market move towards the over. We broke down the lineups. They're not the most dangerous Brewers lineup. As you can see, there's no Lorenzo Cain in the Brewers lineup, and he's a guy who started to hit harder.
One thing about the totals move, Jimmy, and a lot of these games today, warm temperatures, specifically in the northeast and central part of the United States, and a lot of these games today, wind blowing out. In a lot of these stadiums, you look up and down. Kansas City, strong wind blowing out to center. Cleveland, strong wind blowing out. Chicago, strong wind blowing out for the Jays White Sox tonight. That is influencing, I think, a lot of these moves toward overs today.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I guess I would agree on the first 5 under a little more than that. Let's just quickly look at what you get. It's 9, as I said, for full game. But first half, probably that 5 hanging there. And it's not. It's 4.5. Oh, there is a 5 at Bet Online. 4.5 everywhere else. Okay, doubling up there. Oh, but with just a half unit each on the first half in full game. Brewers, Phillies. Let's move on to A's, Tigers, Bassett, Turnbull. Turnbull has been great this year. You know, journeyman, 26-year-old journeyman, pitches the home opener for the Tigers, and he's looked good all year. 2.42 ERA, 44 Ks, and 44 2/3. Neither of these teams hit righties hard. Bassett coming back to his hometown. He's looked great this year. I mean, he's better at home than he is on the road. A's, Tigers, Babano. A's, Tigers, and we have a 4.5. It opened for the first 5. It's now down to 4. You can still get a 4.5, but let's look at full games and totals. Oakland has taken a 25-cent line move towards the A's, and this total opened up 9.5. It's now down to 8.5, and Pinnacle's made it an 8. What do you think here?
You know what? It's funny because this is a guy for Detroit that's on the mound today, Spencer Turnbull. I picked up on him becoming pretty good and starting to pitch really well for this team early, and I've been able to win a couple times with him in his recent starts, and I think I'm probably going to go back to that well today a little bit. Now, obviously, we know Miguel Cabrera is a concern here for Detroit. Missed the last game with the knee injury. It may or may not be in the lineup today. You're looking at a situation but Spencer Turnbull, to me, has been terrific for the Detroit Tigers. 1.93 ERA his last 3 starts, 2.35 ERA at home. He's pitched quite well. Detroit's won each of his last 4 starts. And look at the teams he's beaten. Boston, pretty good lineup. Philadelphia, pretty good lineup. Kansas City, but they're an okay lineup. Minnesota, very good lineup. 4 straight wins for Spencer Turnbull against those 4 teams, those 4 lineups. Pretty impressive for this young kid. Chris Bassett's boggling my mind here a little bit with what he's done. This guy's not been all that much of a big-time major league pitcher in years past. I think he's been roughed up. He's been hit hard in the past. That hasn't happened so far. He's actually pitched rather well. 2.55 ERA overall, 3 ERA on the road. I think there's way more upside long-term, though, in Spencer Turnbull for Detroit than there is for Chris Bassett with Oakland. I think this Bassett thing's a little bit of a mirage, a little bit smoke and mirrors. I don't think he's going to be able to keep this up. So I took Detroit at the underdog price. Again, this is a bet I split up. First 5 in full game. Tigers bullpen is a source of concern for me, so I split this one up between the first 5 innings and the full game. But looking at Detroit here as the home dog.
Wow, and that goes with Dave LA's Tigers play of the day. Why do you think there's been this big market move towards the A's?
I think people see Oakland, very good team, or not a very good team, but Oakland's taken a lot of money this year. I mean, advanced metrics, quant guys, stats guys, computer math guys, they seem to like this Oakland team because Oakland has taken a lot of money in a lot of their games this season. And it's odd because this team's only 19-25. They're 6 games below 500, but they've been a betting market, love child, so to speak. you could say, this season. A lot of money they've taken in a lot of their games, and you're seeing it again today. I don't understand it. I'm done figuring out crazy moves like this in baseball. If you try to rack your brain, Jimmy, and spend every day trying to figure out why lines move in the direction they do in baseball each day, you're going to pound your head against the wall. And not worth it. Not worth the aggravation, in my opinion. I just think this one's a little bit odd, a little bit strange. Minus 120 up to as high as minus 140 right now, when Turnbull's been nothing but a ticket cashing machine in his last 4 starts against some very good lineups. If you can shut down Boston, you can shut down Philly, you can shut down Minnesota like Turnbull has, you should be able to do okay against Oakland today. So I think we got a live home underdog here.
Very, very interesting. David Sand saying Oakland bullpen horrible. Dave Ellie saying public still loves Oakland. Tomino says Oakland has history of slow starts. They usually come on middle of the year after making adjustments. Don Regis says I'm going to tail that one with Tigers. Makes sense. Let's talk about this Rangers-Royals spot. So as you said about the wind, 14 miles per hour out to straight center. So is the public seeing 14 miles per hour out to straight center, Homer Bailey, and thinking, man, this game's going to go over? Even with the wind, the Royals ballpark is that huge outfield. It's a pitcher's park. My instinct is first 5 under. 7 runs they need to score, and these lineups are bad. This is a weak, for both these teams, is weak lineups for them. Do you think that this is a mistake that I'm thinking under with Lynn against Bailey in Kansas City with 14 miles per hour weather or wind out to center?
Yeah, I want no part of the under here, Jimmy. I'm sorry. Sorry to have to tell you that. But yeah, I actually like the over in this game. Like, I know Lance Lynn and Homer Bailey have been a little bit better lately, and I know everyone's talked about what's happened to Homer Bailey. He's actually pitched relatively decent in a lot of his starts lately. I don't think that the weather, first of all, sets up well for him here today at all, in my opinion. He is still struggling with walks. That wind, by the way, it's not just blowing out, it's blowing out straight to center. And it's blowing out at 16 miles per hour. So it's almost 30 kilometers. And that's a strong wind going straight out to center field today at Kauffman Stadium. So I know that is a pitcher park. No question about that. But these are guys that give up fly balls. These are guys that give up line drives. These are guys that can give up hard contact. And I think you might see that. And that could be death for both of these starting pitchers here today in this game. And Lance Lynn has not exactly been Mr. Consistent. He's been good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. That's been the pattern for Lance Lynn. Bad against Oakland, gave up 8 runs. Better the next start, 1 run against Seattle. Bad the next start against Toronto, 5 runs. Good the last start, 3 runs. This should be bad Lance Lynn day today, if the pattern holds true. On the flip side, again, Homer Bailey, dope. I think he's going to be saying that a lot today when he's on the mound. Dope. Because Texas is good against righties. Texas is very good against righties. I don't want Texas against lefties. They struggle against southpaws, but as a team against righties, 6 runs per game, batting average 32 points higher against right-handed pitchers than lefties this season. Both bullpens sport an ERA of above 4.5. Neither bullpen is a group that can consistently get outs in the latter stages of games. So yeah, I'm in agreement with this totals move. I think it's not a good weather profile for these two guys, and I think it's going to show today for Lynn and Bailey. So I like over 10.5. It's a high number, but I like the over.
Well, I like Lance Lynn, and I know he's gone good start, bad start, good start, bad start, but I love the start against Verlander. I think he'll get better as he goes on. Eddie Obason says Lance Lynn starts are always shaky. Hard to see a clean inning from that guy. If the weather, if it's 14 or 15 or 16 miles per hour out to straight center, and it's Lance Lynn or Homer Bailey, I think Lynn can get the job done, and the Rangers are a much more dangerous lineup than the Royals, even though it's not the strongest Rangers lineup. I think, especially looking late, I mean, look at Forsythe, Odor, Guzman, Kiner Falefa, compared to, again, Soler is a dangerous hitter, but Gutierrez, O'Hearn. I just feel like Texas Rangers have an advantage, even though they've been on a losing streak. Benjamin Crease says Rangers no Choi or Andrews. KC hits righties well. I like KC here with Merrifield and Soler in that lineup. Definitely consider over, considering what Bobano's breakdown. Mr. Ghoster says I'm fading Lynn. Wow. Domrich says time for Bailey's luck to start running out. You know, I've been focusing the last 24, 12, I guess 16, 18 hours solely on the Preakness. It's difficult for me to make a move. Russell Gordy says not going over, gents. It's difficult for me to make a move on this card right now. Is there anything So those are the spots. So can you go over your action on the 4 early games?
Yeah, Milwaukee, Philly, first 5 and full game under. Detroit, plus 130. We're splitting that up, first 5 and full game as well. And Texas, Kansas City over 10.5. That is it for the day games for me.
And sorry, I was just looking at numbers there. Did you have a play on that Milwaukee Philly game?
Yeah, first 5 innings under and full game under.
Yeah, that seems to make sense here.
Yet the over continues to take money, so there's another one that's a head scratcher. But that's what you get in MLB betting marketplace. You get line moves that you just can't figure out sometimes.
And how much money is that total taking? So I'm just going to quickly go to that full game total.
It opened 8. It's 9 shaded to the over now, minus 120, minus 125. That's about, we're closing in on a 1.5 run move. 1.5 runs up with that total. That's a huge move.
Wow, this is.
I'm going against it. Like I said, I don't give 2 shits about going against a big move like that. If I think it's gone too far, I'll go against it.
Well, let's talk about if you have a feel of any of these night games. So we have Orioles, Indians, Straley versus Bauer. Bauer's not looked nearly as good last couple starts. We have Castillo, who's been spectacular. Only Soroka really looks better than him so far this year, going up against Quintana, who's looked better and better for his last few starts. Cubbies, Reds. Then we have Cardinals, Braves, Wainwright, Teheran. We have Stroman versus Covey and Jays, White Sox. Vitalis said, can you talk me off taking the White Sox at a dog line first 5? And I can't. I think that Covey has an upside at home. I mean, I've lost money backing him, 10 walks and 10 2/3. But the White Sox have such a better lineup than the Jays, so I wouldn't mind if you touched on that briefly. Then we have Twins, Mariners, Pineda, Swanson. And the final game, Williams versus Lauer. Lauer looked very bad, and Williams gets a lot of soft contact. Can you touch on the Jays game, and is there anything else you're looking at on the late card?
Yeah, those are the two latest games on the card, the 2 last games on your betting rotation, on your odds screen. Those are the 2 I'm involved in. I'm on the overs in both of those games, including the Blue Jays and the White Sox. Look, Stroman's hit a wall. Stroman's been crushed in his last 3 starts. It's been nothing but ugly for him. 15 runs allowed in his last, 13, 14 innings of work. Not good at all. 15 runs in 14.1 innings. So more runs than innings pitched for Marcus Stroman. Over his last 3 starts. 3 home runs in those 3 starts. That's a concern. Dylan Covey has given up 4 home runs in his last 3 starts. So you got guys giving up the long ball and struggling big time with home runs, pitching on a night where it's wind blowing straight out in Chicago, and it is a unseasonably warm May night for baseball in Chicago. That's a bad combination for these 2 guys. The one issue is the Jays lineup. Sometimes we know it's tough to trust them. I know they scored 7 in the first game against San Francisco, but then they get shut down. 3 runs the last game. The good news is I think they're going to fare better against Dylan Covey this time around. The second look for this Jays lineup against him, they faced him last week up at the Rogers Center in Toronto. I think Covey was lucky to get out of that unscathed a little bit, as little as he did. He could have given up a lot more damage than he did. He only pitched 4.2 innings. I think the Jays will benefit from seeing him again. And again, you got 2 guys struggling with giving up home runs. That doesn't bode well on a night in Chicago where that wind is just blowing right out as it is. The 9s are disappearing in terms of the total. I can clearly see why over the total for me in this one.
That's an interesting look, and it makes a ton of sense. It makes a ton of sense. I feel like moving towards that plus line with the White Sox, even though Covey has looked so bad this year. I mean, there's a reason why they keep giving him chances. This was a guy that they had expectations of to be a starter even last year.
Just quickly on that, I'm not a Covey guy, but there's no way I would lay a minus 130 with Toronto on the road. There's absolutely no way. So from a side perspective, I'm passing, but if I had to tell someone, if I had to make a play on the side, no, absolutely it would be Chicago or nothing at this price.
Yeah, I agree. Dave LA says White Sox and over makes sense. It does. It just makes sense to me. It just makes sense. And I'm going to jump on here. There's still 9. There's 2 9s being hung, and they won't be here on the late show. There's a 9 at minus 117 at 5 dimes and a 9 at minus 125 at Bovada, and we just know they won't be there. So I'm in. I'm going to take the over 9 at minus 117 at 5 dimes. And I'm going to take the White Sox full game here. Money line, full game. Let me just quickly take one quick look at how bad their bullpen's been, because Toronto's bullpen's been so good this year. But speaking of that bullpen, do you expect Toronto's bullpen to continue at this rate?
Probably that's the good question, but I'll tell you what, they've got obviously, I think it can't keep up at this rate. I think at some point it's going to regress in the other direction. And to me, the Ryan Tepera really is the one guy that's been the problem area in that bullpen for the Jays. I mean, for some reason, this guy gives up a home run or gives up something every time he goes in there. But they've been a little bit of a surprise. I don't think it can keep up. I still look at this relief corps top to bottom. I don't see anything that stands out as overly impressive other than the closer. I'll give Ken Giles a ton of credit. This is the best he's looked in a couple of months in a long, long time. He's been outstanding closing games for the Jays when he's had the chance. He hasn't had the chance, a ton this season. But other than that, I think there's still some question marks with that group.
Yeah, I hear you. My guy Milo Georgiev asking if I remember him giving me Arizona last night. Do I remember? I can do you better. I can do you better, Milo Georgiev. I can quote you yesterday. I can quote you. And this was what Milo Georgiev said for me to back Arizona. Listen to this, Babano. Hi, Jimmy. Arizona wins today. May 15th has numerology of 199. Lovallo could get his 199th win. Good luck. And we did cash, Milo. My guy. Okay, so now we got to close this show up. I need to know what your feeling is Game 4, Bruins Hurricanes, and we don't have too long to talk about it, but everybody wants to know what you feel is going to happen in Game 4 in Carolina tonight. What's your lean? Or do you have a play?
Yeah, actually I do. We'll get to that. Last baseball play for me is Minnesota-Seattle, also over 9.5. Pineda's not right. Swanson Dinners, forget it. He's terrible for Seattle. Two good lineups, two horrible bullpens, two bullpens I don't trust, Twins and Mariners. So I like that game over the total as well in Seattle. Boston, Carolina. Look, it's do or die for Carolina. They're trying to avoid a sweep. But one thing we've seen in the playoffs, NBA and NHL this season, when a team is done, they're done. They really are. I mean, when they're done, that's it. And when they're down 3-0, we're not seeing that team really show much, to come back and put their foot on the gas and try to get back in the series. We've seen, what do we see? We saw Pittsburgh get swept in the first round. We saw the Islanders get swept in the second round. And it's funny, now Carolina on the verge of being swept. I think I would only look at Boston tonight. I would probably play them in regulation. We haven't had an overtime game yet in this series. You get a much better price with Boston in regulation. That's the route I'm going to take. I just don't know. I mean, Carolina threw everything but the kitchen sink at Tuukka Rask, and they still couldn't score the other night. I think they could be crushed. They could be demoralized. So I'm going to take Boston at plus 140 in regulation. Never mind the full game money line. I like the better value on the reg line, plus 140. Great price there. I don't know how much is left in this Carolina team at this point. And I'm also going to go over 5.5 because I like doing that in elimination games, Jimmy, especially with a 5.5 team that's down has to throw everything at the net if they're trailing late in the game. And Carolina's been trailing late in every game this series. If they're trailing late, that goalie's coming out even earlier than normal because there's no tomorrow. They have to win this game. So you could get a ton of late goal scoring shenanigans. So I have Boston in reg. Plus 140, Boston in regulation, and over 5.5.
Thank you for taking the over. I was saying it on the early show, in the beginning of the show, to take the over 5.5 today. That was exactly my thinking. Carolina is not going to play tight defensive hockey down 3-0. They're going to put everything at the net. They're going to try to get odd man rushes. They're going to sneak out of the zone. They're going to do whatever they can to get goals. And if they're down 3-1, They're going to pull the goalie with 4 minutes left. And if they're down 4-1, They're going to keep the goalie pulled. I agree with that completely. And then everybody on the chat was saying, I like the under. And I guess I needed that kind of push in the right direction because that was keeping me off. I do not want to take a side in this game. It's Bruins or nothing. There's no doubt about it. It's Bruins or nothing. But I am going to just take that over in the hockey game, and I'm happy that you were saying it. I'm getting plus 110 at 5 dimes and Heritage. My question is, though, what is your guess on market movement towards this total? Because I have a sneaking suspicion that more money is going to come in on this under.
The thing with that could be, you might want to wait. wait to bet this over. You already got a plus price in most spots. You could get even more. People might pile in on the under more. I think Boston scores 3 goals tonight because I just think Carolina defensively just can't stop them. They can't stay out of the box, and they can't kill a penalty, to save their lives in this series. So I think Boston's going to get 2, if not 3 goals at least. The hope is Carolina's at least 3-1 down in the third period. Then they pull the goalie. Maybe you get a 3-2 goal, and then there you go. You just need that 1 goal to get you over the total. But if Boston gets to 3 goals, you've got a great chance of getting over the total in this game, because I think Carolina will put in 1 or 2 at least, and they're going to be pressing. Anybody saying Carolina went into a defensive shell in Game 3, which is something I've heard on Twitter, doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Did you watch the game, or do you just see, they only scored 1 goal, they must have played in a shell defensively? They threw everything at the net against Tuukka Rask the other night. They've opened it up. The defensemen were activated and pinching and joining the rush, consistently joining the play. That was not, 1 goal because they didn't try offensively. They threw everything they could. Rask was absolutely remarkable in net for Boston in that game. So it wasn't for lack of trying. Boston's playing up and down. They're trying to press the issue. Believe me. If you're watching this series, you know that.
Wow. Joshua Turner saying 67% on the over Carolina-Boston game now. I agree with that breakdown. I absolutely agree. Russell Gordy says if Canes are down, they won't try. I disagree with that. I disagree that they're not going to be fired up in Carolina for this game. I think there's going to be odd man rushes. I think there's going to be people cheating the zone. I think less and less of Dougie Hamilton as a defenseman every time I see him. I don't know how he's on the ice
You
so
and
much.
Everybody else, yeah.
I don't know how he's on the ice so much. He doesn't hit the net on the power play. I would not play him at all on the power play. All right, I'm in. I am in. Jose Villegas, I still haven't had enough time for the Black-Eyed Susan at this point, but I'll let you know if I do. Okay, I'm in, and I did jump on that Twins-Mariners over. Makes perfect sense. Something's wrong with Pineda, no doubt, and Swanson looks bad. These offenses look good, and I think that number will continue to rise. Okay, so I have nothing on the early games. I'm going to focus on the Preakness for the afternoon, so I'm not going to force action.
Quickly. One last thing, Jimmy, before we wrap it up. I know we're against the clock here, but Portland plus 7.5 and over 218.5 for the NBA game tonight. West Final Game 2. I think they go hand in hand. You saw Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. They shot 11 for 31, 35% combined in Game 1. That has to go up. 21 turnovers in Game 1 for Portland, which fueled Golden State's lethal transition game. That's got to go down in Game 2. I can't see them turning it over 21 times again. So I think you're going to see those pendulums swing for Portland in this game. Golden State, give them credit. 2 great wins without KD. Game 6 against Houston, Game 1 the other night. I think if there's ever a spot for they exhale, they take a breath, it could be tonight. They're still only 8-13 against the spread last 21 home games. Portland, they've had really a tough time. After a Game 1 win and cover in the playoffs at home, they've had a tough time covering again in Game 2. So I think Portland plays a lot better, stays in this game. I don't know about win it, but I'll take the 7.5, and I think we get a lot more points. Golden State's playing a bit faster without Kevin Durant on the floor, so I like Portland plus 7.5, and I like the over 218.5. Game 2 of the NBA West Finals tonight.
It's a nice breakdown, and you're in good company because that's what J Money is Money said to us yesterday at the end of the show. I was like, can you give us an idea of what you're thinking tomorrow? But then Russell Gordy comes in and says, Portland is tired, gents. Nope, under. That's my only concern, is that the three-point shooting, the shooting from Dame and McCollum, they combined for 36 points. I don't know if they're going to have legs late. This would be another spot. And you know what? I got talked off of it yesterday, the first half over. But I would jump on the first half over rather than the full game over. I'm going to put that just as a lean right now. I think that's a nice spot. There's my guy, Jive Man, in the house. Jive Man says, Lillard should score tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Babano, what a treat it is to roll with you. Where can we find you on Twitter? What shows you got coming up?
Coming up, we've got the Saturday show with Ski Profit. He's back in the fold with that, and Drew Martin on Saturday. We've got the NBA playoffs closing line, so join me for that. We have Play of the Day videos at SBR, and you can follow me on Twitter at Bobano, as always.
Beautiful, beautiful. James says Portland isn't tired. They are outmatched. I think that first half over is a really nice look. Let's just see, is the movement continuing here? It is on the total. Let's see what the first half total is quickly here. 107.5. Yes, I'm going to take the first half over. I think the first half over is in play. It's the full game that concerns me with tired legs, even on both sides.
Yep.
If you think the Warriors had as long of a break as the Raptors, I'm going to take the first half over at 107.5. I'm getting that at minus 105. That's available at 5 dimes. First half over 107.5 and minus 105. Beautiful. Babano, thank you so much for joining us. I have no plays on the early games. I have Blazers first half over 107.5. I have Bruins Hurricanes over 5.5 at plus 110. And then I have just late game action here. I'm on the White Sox Jays over 9 at minus 117 and the White Sox money line at plus 122. And then tailing Babano with Twins Mariners over 9.5 at minus 105. Babano, excellent work, and I really needed the help. I've barely been sleeping, especially last night, just getting my Preakness video together, and I just needed to be pushed in the right direction on a couple plays. Thank you, my friend. Wonderful to have you. Thank you, low baggers. We got a lot of afternoon baseball. I hope you come back in the black for our late show. Very excited about our late show today, joined by Ski Prophet and DJ Big Boss. Most importantly, though, Leche, hey, los bookmakers!